I got up for the next one and went to get a sandwich. No, I didn't. Becky Lynch versus Trish Stratus. I watched this match and I'm glad I did. This was one of the, if Charlotte and Rhea Ripley is the standard of the girls wrestling match that we have seen over the past couple of years, in ring, the Flair and Steamboat, if you will, then this is the goddamn standard for a girls grudge match because they actually had a fight. And not only that, but there was a clear heel and a clear baby face. Trish is a good heel. I didn't think I was going to say that. Besides the full body outfits, Trish was dressed up like a race car driver, and Becky was dressed up like Bruce Lee in Game of Death. They were covered from, neck to fucking toe.
Well, I think it's more Uma Thurman and Kill Bill dressed like Bruce Lee in Game of Death.
Well, Bruce Lee was a badass, so I'm giving her the benefit of the doubt.
Then the bride or then Becky Lynch?
Then who? What?
Then Uma Thurman and Kill Bill or Becky Lynch?
Bruce Lee's badder than everybody.
He's dead. He wasn't better than everyone.
Well,
Kill Bill, she killed everyone. She won. She got the kid and left.
Yeah, but see, that was a movie, whereas Bruce Lee's movies were like documentaries. He really won those fights. Haven't you ever heard that?
I can't tell if you really believe that or not.
Well, no, everybody knew that when I was a kid. But anyway, so the match between Becky and Trish opened up. Trish was trash talking her or making faces or whatever, and Becky just went bam and nailed her with a good looking punch, and that way popped me. And that was the start of it, and they had a fight. And they went back and forth, and they went to the floor, but not forever. They were fighting back and forth, and we got a chance. Was that Fubar Makafakalub and Slapko Fudd on commentary again this time?
I didn't think so, but I'm not sure. But I wasn't listening to the commentary. I'm basing this on the 5 seconds they're shown on camera.
Well, yeah, that's why they were on camera when the girls were fighting out there, but one of them didn't look like, as I recall, I hope that our making them famous didn't make them jack their price up to where they couldn't afford them in the WWE. But anyway, but Trish was being a heel, and the facials and the cockiness, and she got the hanging sleeper on Becky a time or two, standing up on the ropes, and then took a bow after she dropped her to piss off the people, and Becky reaches up and punches her in the face again. That was great. And I wrote, it was girls having an actual grudge match and fighting and not tumbling. And it was very refreshing. Trish even double fish hooked Becky. And then did you see the 1-2 in the middle where they were just fucking hauling off? They put their bodies into it, and they're swinging, and they're fucking selling better than the guys. And when they did again go to the floor, they would do the thing where Becky did a baseball slide and they had a little scuffle on the floor, but Trish sent her into the post, and then boom, they got back in. So it didn't bury the referee and didn't turn the whole thing into shit. And the only thing that really, and I mean, Trish has been out of the ring for a while, and this is probably not the easiest thing in the world to do, but the only buzzkill in the match was where Becky was up on the turnbuckle, and Trish was going for the superplex, and Becky blocked it and knocked her off, and then Trish ran and did a handstand, or tried to, on the bottom rope and get a head scissors on Becky and bring her off, but she kind of bobbled and Becky had to grab her feet and put her around her head. And I'm like, aw. But nevertheless, at that point, I said, you know what? I'm thinking they're needing to start thinking about going home because the people have been hot. They're starting to come down. It seemed like they were slowing down a little bit. So finally they did shortly thereafterwards. Trish got a 2 count on a chick kick, and then basically they went into the finish of the thing where Becky hit her move and Trish got a foot on the ropes, and Trish rolls to the floor and Becky goes out and throws her back in. And as Becky is climbing back in the ring, Brian, how many people we seen come out from under the fucking ring in the last 3 weeks alone?
On just this promotion?
Everybody.
We've seen a few.
So this time it was Zoe Stark living down there in the land of fucking whatever that land is underneath the ring.
And if you didn't know who she was, her name was screamed at you.
Yes.
That's Zoe Stark!
So everybody in the stadium could hear the announcers without even a PA system. And she hit her finish on Becky on the floor and then threw her in. And of course, the referee was aware of nothing, cognizant of nothing. And then Trish hit her finish 1, 2, 3. So the only thing I have to give it a demerit for besides the bobbled move is it was a great match with a lousy finish. And I'm not even saying Trish shouldn't have won. I think they should do this again. But that was just like, how can we get out of this after they finish doing all the stuff they're going to do? That seems like that's how much thought was put into that. So great match, lousy finish, but girls had a grudge match. Yay! What'd you think?
I really liked the contract signing I told you the other day on Raw. And I thought this was good. I want to watch it a second time again. The same thing I said that plagued me for the World Championship match, which started out the show. It's hard for me to get into this stuff in the middle of the day. This was 1:30 in the afternoon, beautiful out, and these two women are wearing more clothes than they've ever worn in their entire lives in this match. It was good it was hard for me to get into it. I can't explain my mindset watching these live shows in the middle of the day. I'm waiting for the big things to happen.
Well, now you know what I did, don't you?
I'm afraid. What?
I watched this son of a bitch from 8 to 11 o'clock on Sunday morning. I wasn't going to screw up my Saturday Memorial Day weekend with this caca. But it's raining outside and cold here, so maybe that had something to do with it. And besides that, I got about as into it as I'm going to get into anything in these days.
It's going to be interesting. I mean, I think they're going to try to do this feud through SummerSlam.
I don't mind seeing that again. So